Rock informed Cena that things need to change, and the only way to save his career was to turn to the dark side for the first time since 2003. Number 6. Political power. No one was expected that Cena would win the 2025 Royal Rumble, so when Cena lost the match and was eliminated by Jey Uso, fans were stunned. Following the match, Cena would appear on the post-show press conference. Cena's was interesting, to say the very least. This wasn't the bubbly, happy-go-lucky version of Cena. This was a serious, borderline irritated version of the WWE legend. Cena would sit down and declare the last time a main evented of WrestleMania was in 2013. That's a long time ago. So the reason that hasn't been at the forefront of my mind. I've been a gimmick. I've been in the first match. I've been in the middle.
Shao Kahn, Chronicles Key. Round 1, fight!
Trash, nigga. Trash,
Put this side of the block and defeat Cody Rhodes. That makes for fascinating viewing upon rewatching it, and hopefully seeing all the
all that shit don't be done.
On how long the specific heel turn was planned for. Number 4, Cena takes full advantage. For the final two of the men's elimination chamber were John Cena and CM Punk.
You
just like it looked like
you had a friend out here.
Seth Rollins would cost Punk the match with a brutal stomp. Cena oversaw these shenanigans and Cena didn't hesitate from taking full advantage. Fans noticed this during the chamber.
Look at you, man. Teleport, stupid. Yeah, teleport.
Now we know that Cena was doing whatever it took to win, and it didn't even matter.
Teleport.
The was still a win. Cena over the past 15 years or so has been extensively criticized for his version of the STF. Cena fails to lock it in fully, and it often looks like a joke of a finishing move. However, when Cena locked in the STF on Punk, it was almost as if Cena was choking Punk for real. It was tense and had a lot of genuine hatred behind it. If you've been listening clearly, you can hear John Cena saying, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry." Him saying sorry wasn't exactly the most heelish move, but it definitely played it on John's conscience when he was taking full advantage. But the force was Cena definitely signaling to the audience that he wasn't playing around. This was a key indicator that the darker version of Cena was finally here in WWE. Even when Cena made his entrance at the Elimination Chamber event, you could see the seriousness in tone and the instant face switch in his entrance. Cena definitely knew shit was about to go down. Number 3, the PLE poster. Now, upon the Rock's official announcement for Elimination Chamber, WWE will quickly amend their official poster for the event. The new poster would feature The Rock, John Cena, and Travis Scott. All three of these things were involved in the heel turn angle, and all three were responsible for the brutal beatdown of Cody Rhodes. This was WWE's way of hinting to the audience as to what was coming, and knowing what we know about WWE and
you thought you had a friend.
Nothing in modern day WWE is done for the sake of it. This type of foreshadowing is one of the reasons as to why fans are so invested in the current product. Number 2,
nigga thought he had a friend.
On the weekend of Elimination Chamber, Triple H boldly tweeted out that Elimination Chamber
hey, what's up?
would be an industry changing event for WWE. Now, when the game first tweeted this out on X, he received some backlash. This WWE are the kings of hyperbole, but this was such a bold claim that WWE had to follow up with something meaningful. He was a CEO speaking area manager, there was pretty good things up planned for PLE. He said this back in early February. WWE knew they had something that could change the landscape of the industry set for the show. And all of the things were shape WWE to its very core. And number 1, the true face of WWE. Event. After Rhodes won, Cena was a key player in Rhodes' WWE title celebrations. But there were various shots of Cena eyeing up the WWE title, perhaps looking at a title that he, at one point in time, was looking unlikely to ever win again. Cena's behavior during this celebration is extremely over the top, and it's almost as if he's hiding his true feelings. Whilst there's been no confirmation on Cena's heel turn being planned that far in advance, if WWE wants to make this canon, there are a ton of shots at their disposal to spin this narrative. From Cena's perspective, he was a face of WWE for 2 decades, and WWE could never find another face of the company.
I wanted to change characters,
however, that will change with Rhodes. Rhodes is a face of WWE, and he's embedded in that position. Rhodes is overseeing record attendance numbers, record sponsorship deals, and reception to the product speaks volumes. Cena's babyface character could have seen all this, and it snap. Cena's officially been replaced in WWE, and he just can't stand it. How does this phone react?
Where you going?
He signs a deal with
Trash ass nigga, where you going? You knew what I'm saying?
I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.
Boo ass nigga, man. Fuck you doing? Calm your ass down. Your ass down. Oh, ass nigga. Oh, ass nigga. Ah, you thought he had a friend. Oh shit. Oh shit. Dumbass nigga.
He is going to be trying to tell us something. Comes to the return of the original tribal chief, Roman Reigns. Well, it seems that way. Before I continue, you guys can tell my voice is a little off, under the weather. Anyway, I want to talk about the return of
What you doing?
Reigns. Because, well,
What you doing?
you got to see it. We're bumping. And, you know, during that match, he was eliminated. I see Austin got the upper hand off of Reigns and Seth Rollins. And that is what? It prevented Roman Reigns from getting that shot at the WWE Championship. His championship that he lost to Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania.
Ah, stupid ass nigga. Try to get up out of here. Look at you trying to get up out of here.
He wants to come for his championship. And that was the whole goal. But it didn't happen. And so, Reigns now has been laying low. Right? We've not seen him. We don't know what Roman Reigns is thinking. Actors.
I'm mad. Using it all fast and shit. Goof ass nigga. Goof ass nigga.
We have no
Goof ass
idea
nigga.
what the mindset of the tribal chief.
Goof ass nigga.
Right?
Get your dumb ass out of here. Boy, your ass shit.
The third match with Cody Rhodes to be able to finally settle the score.
Lucky.
And Roman Reigns came up short. We know before that, the goal was one thing in particular. And that was getting the Fall Pack, which he did successfully against Solo Sikoa on the Raw Network debut. And that allowed Reigns to start to make that move, right, towards the Royal Rumble and all that. And we thinking at the time, okay, clearly they were teasing something, continuing the story with The Rock and everything like that. That seemed to be something that we're at least teasing for the future week. It's kind of at that point on the Raw Netflix, we're thinking, all right, we don't know if The Rock's going to be involved in anything for WrestleMania 41. But with the way they're teasing, and you can see this shot here, right? We talked about the hug and all this other stuff. Clearly, teasing something down the road. between Roman Reigns and Brock. Well, we also know that since that time that we've not seen Reigns, everything has changed because the final boss did make his return to WWE on that fateful SmackDown where he decided to ask Cody Rhodes for his soul. And we know that Cody Rhodes did not sell his soul to The Rock. He told him to go fuck himself. And that allowed John Cena to make the shocking heel turn that we didn't know was ever going to happen, but seemed to be one of the possibilities going into Elimination Chamber, given that the story was that we knew Cody was not going to sell his soul to The Rock. And well, it still seems like there's plenty of unfinished business when it comes to Roman Reigns, and now you could certainly throw him into the mix when it comes to getting involved in the whole story with The Rock, John Cena, and Cody Rhodes. But that will probably have to wait, because we know why. When you look at where Roman Reigns is at now, and where this WrestleMania 41 card is sort of shaping up to be, we understand that the reason that Roman Reigns is not maybe in that scenario where he's facing Cody Rhodes for the WWE Undisputed title at WrestleMania 41 is because of two people. It's CM Punk and Seth Rollins. And Roman Reigns has kept them guessing. He's done a good job, right? The tribal chief, the ultimate master of the mind games with the wise man Paul Heyman. He's kept them guessing. Where is Roman Reigns? We've all been asking the same question, right? And I think that's the intent that he wants us asking the question. Where is Roman Reigns? Well, something was said on this week's edition of Raw that I think makes it very obvious as to what the next move is going to be. And some of you guys already know what it is. But Seth Rollins, after he got into the just incredible brawl with CM Punk to start the show on Raw this past week, it was Seth Rollins backstage. It was either Jackie Redmond or Kathy Kelly. I don't remember which one. They're both great. They were asking him sort of, his mindset coming out of that and where things settle in now and everything. And that's when we eventually got the announcement that we're going to get a steel cage match next week at Madison Square Garden. But Rollins said something in particular. He said that he's going to do to CM Punk what he did to Roman Reigns. And that is make sure that CM Punk does not make it to WrestleMania, right? Punk's also come up short in his goal to be able to main event WrestleMania. But Rollins says it's not about keeping Punk from that goal, and he did that in Elimination Chamber. Now he's going to keep Punk from making WrestleMania. But again, he did say that's the same thing he did to Roman Reigns. Well, we're going to find out about that, right? Because after Rollins did take out Roman Reigns at the Royal Rumble, after the elimination, all that, we're all looking around, what's going to happen from here? The rumors were out there that we're going to get the triple threat match and all that. We didn't know if things started to sort of veer off course a bit. The whole final boss thing, we didn't know if that was going to factor in maybe Punk being the one to sell his soul and that kind of stuff. The final boss. When Rock comes in, we know things change in a hurry. But now, I think the direction seems pretty clear, doesn't it? Because if Seth Rollins said that on Monday, and it's just sort of that, not necessarily a throwaway line in the promo backstage, but it was more about CM Punk. It wasn't about Roman Reigns, it was about CM Punk.
Will it be this easy?
Have you heard about the control?
Fight.
But yet, the way he said it about how he's going to make sure Punk doesn't make it to WrestleMania the same way Reigns doesn't make it to WrestleMania, to me, that sets up the ultimate showdown next week, either inside the steel cage or outside of the steel cage. Because I think that's what WWE is in, right? It is telling us that they have set up this huge main event between Rollins and Punk in a steel cage, Madison Square Garden, most famous arena in the world. And you're telling me they don't have something huge and special planned at the end of that show? I think they absolutely do. I think that is, without question, the return of Roman Reigns to get involved somehow in this match. Because remember, it is one where Triple H has made Raw a must-see event every single week, right? Even go back to this past week on Raw, not just the start of that show, that wild brawl between Rollins and Punk. Io Sky winning the Women's World Championship from Rhea Ripley. A surprise development for a lot of people, thinking that, okay, this was definitely going to be Rhea versus Bianca Belair. We talked about it after Elimination. It seemed like the obvious direction. But no, they now make you rethink this by making Io the champion, which I still think is going to wind up a threat match. I don't think it's just necessarily going to be Io Sky versus Bianca Belair. But the point is that they've set up all these editions of Raw so far on Netflix. I feel like there is something big and something special that you have to tune in to see on every single one of these shows. And now they're going back to Madison Square Garden, doing a CM Punk Seth Rollins steel cage match. And you're telling me we're not going to get the return of Roman Reigns to set up that potential triple threat match at WrestleMania. It seems like that is the most obvious direction that there is. But again, sometimes we think that about WWE in the Triple H era, and it's not always so obvious. So, how do we do it, right? If Reigns does come back next week, how does it play out? Does he cost Punk the match against Rollins? Cost Rollins the match against Punk? Or does he let those two beat the hell out of each other? Then Reigns comes back to extract his revenge on both of them. Because again, in tying it together, they both cost him the opportunity. Because it was Punk costing Reigns the opportunity by eliminating him in the Rumble. It was Rollins potentially costing Reigns the opportunity to be in the Elimination Chamber by taking him out with the attack after that. And so, Reigns has every reason to come back now, next Monday. That's the date. He's been seeing it in his mind, right? And think about all the stuff that's happened at Madison Square Garden. The wise man may be a little iffy about walking back into Madison Square Garden after the attack last year from Solo Sikoa and company. But you've got to think, this is where the official road to WrestleMania starts. Roman Reigns, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and potentially the triple threat match. You said before, I love the idea of just a triple threat match based on these three guys hating each other. It depends on how you do it. Sure, you would like to have a lot more stakes involved. And I do think, why you should hit the subscribe button. We've got another video coming up where I don't think it's going to be that simple. Reigns, Punk, and maybe even Rollins coming out of WrestleMania. I don't know that we're just going to see those three guys wrestle on one of these nights, and that's going to be the end of it. I think there could be multiple from that group of three that will play a role in something else that's going to happen at WrestleMania 40. I'll save that for another video. But if you look at it from this standpoint, it does seem like WWE is giving us every little thing. Triple H drops these little bitty tiny things in promos. They're done for a reason. Rollins saying he's already taken.
Hey guys, fellow Mike Schmitz here. Lent is here, and you've heard me say it before, you have to check out the Hell Around. We're doing something really powerful together. It's a 40-day prayer challenge for every day during Lent with Jonathan Rooney, Sister Miriam, Mark Wahlberg, and even Chris Pratt, who I've heard is a big fan of the Bible here. And of course, you're through. We're going through this incredible book called The Way by St. Jose Maria Escrivá. It's one of my favorite books of all time. And on Sundays, I'll be sharing homilies on the weekly readings and teachings from
Reigns out of WrestleMania. But we know that's not true, because WrestleMania is not today or tomorrow. It is still a month plus away. Roman Reigns has time to make his return. He's going to, in my opinion, make it next week at Madison Square Garden in New York, because I think that is where really kick this thing off and figure out how you're going to put this together. If we assume it is the triple threat match, how are you going to make everyone buy into this as something that feels big enough for these three guys who are all world championship type contenders or former pilots, right? Is a basic triple threat match enough? Because there's got to be something to say. That's where potentially CM Punk's favor comes back in, right? Does Punk's favor play a role here? Maybe Punk's favor has something to do with Reigns costing Collins the match. It's okay. But if it's a steel cage match, you would just probably think that these two are going to settle. This been between Punk and Rollins. Then again, it's like, well, breath of opportunity to regain his championship. No Rumble win, Chamber win, Now, Roman Reigns has nothing left to do. What do you think? This is when we get Roman Reigns' is the return. Right. You guys, I mean, it could be different directions for Roman Reigns. Coming out of WrestleMania 41, it could be a big one. I'll talk about that in another video. Appreciate you guys watching. As always, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button on your way out. Thanks for your patience with the voice. Best I can to keep getting you guys some videos. But again, thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts on getting you guys some videos. But again, thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts on when you think Roman Reigns will return and if it's on Raw. How's he going to do it?
Wuxi Dragon Brother.
Where we have to start today is
Round 1. Fight.
with what LeBron James said, what was said about what he said, and how he got it. So first, a level set of what happened. Anthony Edwards was asked about being face of the league, and he was like, I don't really have an interest. I just want to play. LeBron was then asked about that as the face of the league. And LeBron said, yeah, I don't blame you. Why would you want to be when all the people talk about our league? And it seemed like he was about to say former players and media, but he said it was just catch-all. Just shit on the player. And then, as Bomani Jones would say, hit dog, don't holler. And then all the guys who
Round 2.
LeBron
Fight.
was talking about, Doc protested too much. So, the first one was Stephen A., who did a 5-minute rant in response to LeBron that, and I am not exaggerating when I say this, in the first 90 seconds of Stephen A. responding to LeBron saying that the biggest voices in the media just go after you repeatedly, particularly if you're the face of the league. In the first 90 seconds of a response to that, Stephen A. blamed LeBron James for the following: the downfall of the slam dunk contest,
Final round.
the lockout in 2011, and the Chris Paul Laker trade being nixed. He put it all to LeBron's feet. All of it. He's like, ruined the dunk contest because you wouldn't participate, and then said the decision was what led to the owners locking the players out and changing the collective bargaining agreement, and then threw the CP3 trade in as kind of a little dessert after a delicious entree. And didn't really, to my ear, address any of what LeBron actually said. And then, and I couldn't believe this, and let me say this as well, I have a really good relationship with Stephen A. I actually texted with him this morning, but he is, so I don't want people to think that there's like media beef, but he knows this. We both have strong opinions. I disagree with a lot of what he says. He's a big boy, grown man. He understands none of that's personal. And so I'm not trying to start something. This guy's a friend of mine. I just think he's out of his mind on some of this stuff. And then on his podcast, and this I won't put on him, and, appreciate the producers of that podcast because they put us on their, friendly relationships. And DeMonte, this will blow your mind. Again, in addressing LeBron James, saying that if you're the face of the league, you get extra criticism, get shit on.
Round 1. Fight.
Alright. When Stephen A. brought that up on his podcast, you know what video played alongside it? Like the soundless, what we call B-roll highlights? Hand to God. It was Bronny's bad minutes against the Sixers. That's true. Go look. Go watch. So, like, again, I don't think that's Stephen A.'s call, but it doesn't exactly dispel the narrative that, well, yeah, there might be a little unfairness here, and so that was his part of it. Bill Simmons, who is as loud and as respected and as important of an NBA voice as there is, who is an unabashed, obvious, diehard Celtic fan, who has never really been what you call a LeBron guy, and LeBron's never been a Simmons guy. Simmons sent out the following tweets. Celtics Cavs is a wonderful NBA game. Two excellent teams. That's included some terrific individual performances. This next game will be splendid too. I'm so lucky to be able to watch great players like Luka Doncic, LeBron James, James Harden battling it out. Just basically making fun. Being like, this is ridiculous. Oh, everyone's got to be so positive. And then Bill went on a long history lesson on his pod this week where he was like, this is how it's always been. And then explained how we went after guys who either hadn't won or until they won, or very specific postseason failures in the moment, which is not at all what LeBron's talking about. LeBron was talking about the general conversation surrounding the league being constantly negative. And you know who totally agrees with LeBron that that's a problem? Bill Simmons. You know how I know that? Because on December 31st, Bill Simmons did an NBA pod with the great Kurt Goldsberry that is titled The All Positive NBA Show with Kurt Goldsberry, that he says at the beginning he's doing because